Right. So, good evening for friends from Asia, and also like good morning uh, for the other region in US. Today, welcome back to this RoboCup at Home Education Online Challenge 2021. Today we have this standard platform Pepper 2.5 online class. This is the fourth week. So I'm Jeffrey, the host and also speaker today, and together with me is engineers Austin and Edward from SoftBank Robotics that will show you some cool Pepper demonstration after this. Okay, so being in the fourth class, next week will be the last one. So today we will discuss about Pepper body motion. So how we can arrange or program the body motion of Pepper so that we can perform some cool performance. For example, dancing example and so on, which is very popular. Performance can be done by using the Pepper robot. Okay, so let me start with some logistic. Okay, so as usual, this is the meeting link. We have 2 hours scheduled to be start at 7:30 and end at 9:30. We will have some interaction for Q&A after the session. If let's say you have any question, so please stay back after I off the recording. Okay, so and the few link there is for you to find our past previous class video and also slides, and also for today's slides you can find it from the links. Okay, so before I start, as a final reminder for privacy, the whole session will be recorded and this video will be published online. So please refrain from turn on your microphone and camera unless you are asked to do so. Right, thank you for your cooperation and let's start. Okay, so for today, for this Pepper body motion, so next week we will actually talk about the movement of Pepper. Movement means like the whole body will move around. Okay, so because it's a bit lengthy if I try to combine these two, but supposedly they're supposed to come together because most of the time you want the body motion include the movement of the mobile platform as well, so that you can have the dancing steps, which is like the robot can also move around. But we have to cut them into two, so you can continue learning about this, the moving of Pepper next week. So for this week, we will focus on especially the upper body, right? So the arm and then also like the body movement and also the head, okay? So this is for today's class. And for this body motion development, today we will show you actually 3 ways, because like the first way for timeline body motion arrangement, so we will be using a tools called timeline. So timeline is a very important tools in choreograph that to help you to arrange the movement of Pepper. Okay, but in this timeline, so how we can actually arrange the body motion on this timeline, there are actually a few methods. 2 popular methods that we will introduce today is the first one is by some parameter setting, which is like you manually do all the parts. And another one is what we call the animation mode. Okay, so we have 2 for the first part. And then for the second part, we will have this preset animation, which is in the instruction box library, we actually have a set of preset animation. So this is what we call preset body motion that already designed into like instruction boxes that you can actually use it directly without need to change any of the, or without need to set any of the parameters of the body joints and so on. So you can straight away use, and it can actually assemble together so that you can have a continuous body motion using just the preset animation. Okay, so these are the arrangement for today. So we will start with the first one, the timeline. So we will explain to you what is the timeline and how we can work on it to get our body motion development done. Okay, so the first thing is introduce you this box. So you can see the timeline box look like this. Nothing extraordinary because like you can see the input and the output is very similar to like a normal instruction box. So the input, you have the on start and on stop, which is normally you will use the on start to start this timeline, and then you have the on stop, which is after you finish everything that you arrange in the timeline, then it will give you a signal that you can exit. Okay, so this is the box, but keep in mind that with just this box, okay, everything inside there is actually empty. Okay, so nothing actually being programmed inside this timeline except this box is for us to call the timeline, right? So after you have dragged this timeline instruction box into the working area, that is where you can start to work on it. But how to work on it? Before that, you might want to connect like the starting and also the ending, so that Pepper will start the timeline sequence. Then after that, it will exit the program, right? So this is the first step. Then the second step, you double click the timeline box, then you will get some quite big changes on your interface, because like the upper part will appear a timeline like this. So just now it looks like this, which is you don't have, it is all hidden. Then after you double click this box, you will get something like this. Okay, so this is the timeline, and you can see like there are actually a few layers. So the main one is it's very similar like your video editing tools, that you've got the timeline that you can actually specify on which particular time what you want to do, right? So exactly the same concept apply here. Then after that, you can see below this motion layer, you have this behavior layer, and this behavior layer can be added multiple. Okay, so we can have multiple layers. So later, Austin will show you how we can operate this. But just one over here, I would like to explain like, so what are this? What are the function of all these layers? So the first one for the motion, this is where you indicate or you arrange the motion, the body motion of Pepper. Okay, so you can see like all this there are some markers there. This black color box is for you to record certain motion at that particular frame. Okay, so you can see like this the numbers. So this indicate the time, but we can actually adjust this frame so that you can see how accurate or how what is the resolution you want to work on. Depends on how accurate you want the movement to be. And for this behavior layer, it is actually the place where you can put the normal instruction box, like what you have learned in the past few weeks. For example, like you can do some instruction box to let the robot say something or do some dialogue, or you can also use the visual perception function and so on. So as long as it is not another body motion instruction box, which is you can't actually have multiple run at the same time, you only can have one motion. But other than that, you can actually pair together. And also this timeline, the arrangement over here can let you synchronize your body motion and also other behavior of the robot. For example, like you want to match between what the robot say and what the robot do together, so that you can have a very natural and also matching gesture coupled with the behavior. Okay, so that is what you want. Then okay, so over here you will use this robot view in order to select the joint that you want to do some adjustment. Okay, so how are we going to work on this motion is like we will choose a certain keyframe. Okay, so what I can say is like certain keyframe that you can set at that particular keyframe what the motion you want or what the posture of the robot you want. Okay, so which means you can design, like for example, robot start from this posture, and then after a certain period of time, the posture become another posture. For example, like lift up the hand or turn the head and so on. Then what choreograph or Pepper system will do is like it will see from the first, which is the black marker, the first keyframe to the second keyframe, it will try to move the body according to the length of the time and also the changes of the body, for example, all the joints difference, then it will calculate to make the robot move from posture A to posture B. So that is how it works. Okay. Maybe it's not easy to visualize, but later on, Austin will show you how this thing put in practice and you will understand. Okay, but basically these are a few key important information that you need to know. So you will do some setting on the posture. So how to do the posture setting is the first way is by setting all the joints parameters. So which means if you click on your virtual robot, you can actually see the information, the current information. For example, if this is linked with your real robot, then this will be moving. Okay, but if let's say you're working on just the virtual one, then it will be static until you move them. So it is like it is not alive, but you can actually change the joint by adjusting the parameter here. So these are all the, for example, the angle of the joint angle. So you can adjust this value to get the posture of the robot that you want. Then once you are satisfied with the particular posture, you can save it at certain keyframe. So for example, like you want this posture to appear at a particular keyframe, then you can save it. And save it is how, like over here, you press F8 to actually save it on the particular keyframe to save, to record down. That is what the posture I want when the time reach that particular moment. Okay, so that is what you want. And you can see like all this value, you can actually adjust by this slider. It got certain limit, okay, because like every joint actually got certain limit, and it is safe that you work with this slider because like it already have all the limits set inside this window. Okay, so for example, like over here you can like adjust this particular joint to this angle, and you can see like the robot actually move accordingly. Okay. Okay, so once you have the posture that you want, then you press F8 and then you can save as a keyframe. And if you want to delete, you can just delete. And also you can actually drag this black box along this timeline in order to change the timing for that particular posture that you already designed. Right, so this is how you work with the arrangement, the body movement arrangement. Okay, then after you have satisfied with your motion, then you can couple with other function. For example, like if you want the robot to say something while doing some gesture, then you can put like what we have learned, like the set language box and also the say box, which is the robot will say something using this pair. So once you put this thing down under the behavior layer, then you can actually run this thing in a virtual robot to see the timing. Okay, you can actually run this to see the timing. And over here we show you like if you run it and you can see like but most of the time, for example, like if you want to hear the voice, it cannot be simulated in the virtual robot. So you have to run this with the real robot connected to your choreograph. So the example over here is like what we try to adjust is we try to adjust the posture of the robot so that you can have the posture being executed matched with the timing of the speech. Okay, so for example over here, like it tried to drag to the keyframe of 30. Then you can see like by the time the robot finished saying, that also like he can do the body motion in synchronize with what he said. Okay, right. So you need to adjust this timing, and the easiest way that you can do is like by just executing this process, and you see what happened in the real robot. So you can roughly estimate the timing so that you can match with the keyframe that you set in your timeline. Okay, then in this example, it shows you try to add in a few keyframe of posture into the timeline, so that it will give you a series of motion and also mesh with the speech. Okay, so over here, so it add another tool, which is this example you can download from our GitHub repository, and then once you open up, you can get something like this. Okay, but now over here, we try to explain to you how you can get all this thing programmed. Okay, so if you try to run the example that I just explained just now, you will get something like this. I'm not sure if you can hear the sound. Yeah, but it's in Mandarin. Okay, so you can see like the robot try to say something, and by the time it finished saying the first what he is planned to say, which is in this example, then it will try to move up the right hand. Then after that, it moved the left hand, then it stopped there. Right. So this is what we can get from the simple example that I just showed you just now. That you can actually open up the same thing from the program that you can download from our GitHub repository. Okay, so this is what you will get. So I will stop here and pass the time to Austin to show you how this thing can be done in step-by-step choreograph operation. All right, so Austin.
Yeah, Jeffrey, tell me, okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you for joining this this course and online training. So I'm gonna introduce how to make Pepper move and how with the choreograph. So it's kind of big important training course for making program in Pepper. So let me open my camera and see here we got a real Pepper here, and I'm gonna use Pepper to show what is the real results when we're running our program in Pepper, and also show you how to make a Pepper movement. It's not movement, it's animation. It's kind of different between the animation and movements. So movements course we're gonna put it in the next course, but this course we're gonna introduce how to make Pepper and to do some dance, move her and arm and head, and even other parts of that. Okay, and I'm gonna close my camera and try to share my screen. So before we try this program, we should know we should get connection with the Pepper. But at this time, I'm gonna just wait for a moment. I'm gonna new project, and this is empty. Wait a moment. It's all empty, and we see here it's very familiar. The panels here. We got the project file and a box library and a robot view and the inspector. That's all for this class. Of course, to learn how to make Pepper and do some animations. So we're really focused on five panels here, and box library and robot view and the inspector. The firstly, we should get one use a kind of one comment box because timeline. Okay, we search the box timeline. So when we click on the timeline, we see the inspector. They just give the description about how this box meaning or how we use this box. That means this box is empty and contains a single motion layer with the no motion position defined in it, and should be used to create any animation you would like. So before first of all, I just drag this timeline here, and I'm gonna clear this part back to the director. So we see there they just give us the basic category about how to make a Pepper program box. Here, the first of all, it's animation, and it's also we see here it's another function, another category for Pepper to make Pepper move. That means we just use Pepper's wheel to we move forward and back and right, left. But animation, that means we use other parts except the wheels, like the arm, right? Like the arm, head, and the waist, and so on. So this is different between animation and movement. Okay. Okay. So what if we want to make Pepper do some animation? We only have the one box here. Only one box here. The name is timeline to make everything. Everything to make Pepper do some animation we want. Okay, so like the other, it's the same like the other box, right? First of all, we should see the name and the icon, and the important parts is the input and output. We see the color here. The input color here is all black. Is all black. That means is activity input and output. So it's kind of just have interface to activities box. It's kind of simple timeline. But compare with the other box, we see different. That when we double click this this box, we double click it, and I'm gonna see here what is difference between the it's kind of different between before we program other functions. We see here we just have an additional panel to let me do the timeline. Here you see here the panel name is a timeline, and they have different errors for different function. But we're gonna introduce some details. Introduce the details about this. Okay. So the first part is motion. It's kind of a layer, but it's only to make how to edit animation in this part. That means motion. And we also see here behavior layer. What is the meaning? Behavior, as we know before, is kind of a set of action. What I mean, this part is kind of place for us to do some set of functions, like we try to make Pepper say, right? How we do it? We can do a set language here, drag into here, and say box, and okay, we're trying to make Pepper see something, right? But it's only on this behavior layers. What if we just add it? You see here, this add button. You can click out. We're trying to make another one. Name it is behavior layer 2, but we also can change the name, right? I change the name as you want. So when we double click this icon, this layer is empty. But we try to make the first layer is gonna we see this set of action here, and I'm gonna try another one is empty. But it's kind of we can put any function in here. But it was what are they used for? It's kind of they're parallel. It's with the motion. That means when we doing something, when the Pepper doing something, and they're just following. There are lots of action following with this action, so it's parallel. We're trying to make Pepper say while do some adding, noding, or just try and make Pepper move. Right? It's a parallel. Okay. After introduce the behavior layer, and we're gonna details about the motion parts. Here we here see here is kind of ruler. As we know before, we have this other appearance about some video editing software. We know they have this like that, and so does audio, right? When we're trying to edit some or cut some simple, we need to adjust this timeline here to try to make a the cutting side we want. Okay, but we see here is our at the beginning of this ruler, we see here is it's green. It's a green flag. We call it this green flag, but that means this is start position. And also when we're trying to finish this I'll finish out this moment animation editing. We will see here is like it's gonna red. It's a red flag. Okay. So then we see here they have numbers here 1, 5, and 10, and even 15, 20, right? What's the meaning? So let me I will introduce more about it before we should know this those here arrows, a large button around here. We see the first button is kind of timeline editor, and the another one is kind of timeline property. So like the project we added before, we should know any properties they have in our project. When we click this part, we see here they have some parameters like frame rate and mode and resources. That means the frame rate is kind of common in any audio editing software. That means they doing 25 motions in 1 second, right? So that means I just detail about the Pepper will do some actions in 1 second. Okay, and they have mode and 3 categories, kind of passive mode and the waiting mode and aggressive mode. That means they doing different mode animation adjusting. Okay. I'll click OK. We're trying to adjust this frame rate as you want. Okay. How about this? I'm gonna try to click here, trying to make this number and make the line here. That means we're gonna to recording some motions here. That means from here and to here, it's in 1 second. Okay. Okay. Let me try to do it. But how? Okay. From this part, we should depends on this robot view and inspector. When we click, well, first of all, we should put the line we want to edit the animation here, and secondly, we should see here the robot view. When we put our mouse in the robot view, we'll see different colors just to show off. That means we can click on it. We're trying to click on the head, Pepper's head. I'm gonna see here the inspector. That means this is a head pitch and head yaw. That means the Pepper's degree of freedom. As we all know, Pepper has 20 degrees of freedom, but in the head they only have 2. And what about the other parts, like the shoulder? They got a 2. And the elbow, they also get 2. Another is kind of wrist is it's 1, and also the hands is 1. So that means all of those parts we can adjust it to make Pepper do the animation. So how we do it? I give example like trying to make Pepper's head noding. So we got here for like we said before, we put the line here, and I'm trying to adjust the head. When we adjusted the pitch, we're gonna see here the Pepper's head noding, right? So at this second, I'm gonna try to make Pepper at this position, and we see here this the gray area is gonna be recorded. That means this is recorded those numbers to make Pepper to remember the numbers, right? And then we're gonna put another line like in the second time, we're gonna try to make another animation. So we put out the blue line here, 50, right? This next second. And I'm gonna try make a pepper noding. That means we're gonna put the head in front and back. So we're gonna try to move back. Okay. So that's all. Maybe we can add more about those values, but also we can adjust these values as you want. When we click on it, and I'm gonna try to make the numbers changing. Okay. After we finish out the timeline, you can see here is a red flag is out. That means we're gonna start from here and then done with here. So we're gonna try to run with it to try to see what's the function, what that animation we did. We see a play button. We're gonna try to click on it. You can see the pepper's head is move as I want. In the first second, this is trying to node in the front, and the next second they're gonna try to back the head. Okay, I'm gonna run this again. You can see here more clear in the robot view. I'm gonna run it again. Is it right? So it's very important. It's a very easy and also important animation we can do on Pepper. So you can train anything and to make Pepper to do the motion as you want. Like from here in the middle, I'm going to try to make the hands like right hands. I'm going to try to the right hand to squeeze. Okay, at this is gonna this value. I'm gonna try what happened. Okay, I'm gonna run again. I'm gonna see. Okay. Okay, we're gonna see the hands is also in this value. That means we're gonna run the first head and trying to the hand to make a hand squeeze and then noting back. So that's the easy way to make make the animation in Pepper. So it's very easy. It's like the other software and audio editor software and the video software. If you know what is the frame rates it is, so like this, that means a 25 frame in 1 second. So that's it. Just remember this point. You're gonna do well to make Pepper the animation. Okay, back to the timeline. We know the motion and the behavior layer. It's kind of parallel. In a parallel, the mean when we're running this motion, running this animation, and also they just keep running the behavior layer parts. So we're gonna try to download the code source from the GitHub and written by the Jeffrey. Wanna see what's the program like? Okay, I don't need to save my project. So I'm gonna open this one. Okay, this you see here. You can see we only have the timeline box here. What the function is? When I double click on it, we can see they just trying to running. They have some right. They have some the animation nodes here. But we're gonna try what happened in Pepper. We could still run it in the virtual reality robot view. Yeah, when I'm gonna run it, you can see the animation, but it's the same in the real robot. Okay, but we didn't see. We're just running the motion when we're trying to. Let me see. Let me trying to running the whole project, but we're gonna see what happened in the robot view. Okay, I'm running it. Okay, this is do the motion. And how about this part? It's like a set language and say something, and Pepper gonna see I'm moving, but it didn't show in the robot view. But how about we're gonna open the dialog, and then we're gonna run again. Save the file. Okay, let me see what happened here. Didn't see anything, just English is right, and see something is right. I'm gonna run that again. Oh, my dialog is kind of something gonna happen. At this part, we could have the log viewer. Open the log viewer. I'm gonna see here. The value is moving and test translation, but they have some warning. Set language, else speech not available. A language setting cannot be applied. Oh, that means we could run in the robot view. It's can now right. The C function is kind of work on the robot view. But how about we're gonna try to in the real robot? First of all, we should connect to the real robot. We get the IP from the real Pepper. 168, 111, 181. Okay, well, connect on it. We can see the real robots here. But first of all, we need to run it again. Try to make this program work. Oh, let me see what happened. But it didn't see something. Chinese. I guess. I guess something is related to the choreograph, but I'm gonna try to see the animation here. I'm gonna open my camera, trying to see what happened in real robot. Okay, I'm gonna try that again. I'm gonna run program. Okay, we can see the hands, just the right hands and left hands get up, and the head it's move. It's like we see in Jeffrey's PowerPoint. Okay, I'm gonna turn my camera, and that's the easy way to make the animation in Pepper. And I hope everyone see this process we made, how we made this program is kind of easy for us. So I'm gonna try to make the Pepper see something, and I'm gonna debug on it, try to make it say after Jeffrey's course. Okay. So at this time, I'm gonna try and I'm gonna get back to Jeffrey, and I'm gonna continue another course and another knowledge. Okay.
Right. Okay. Thanks, Austin. Right. So let me get back my screen. Okay. So I hope you are back to my screen. So just now, we already learned a very simple way how to use the timeline, which is we put in the keyframe, the posture that we want at a particular keyframe. Then when we run, it will start to join from the first posture to the second posture according to how far of the time apart. So the robot will slowly move from point A to point B according to how you program in the timeline. But you might feel that it is quite troublesome because you need to adjust all the joint, which is not easy if let's say you want to program, for example, a dance move, which is in all the frames you got a very complicated joint angle that you need to specify one by one. So that is quite troublesome. Okay. So how to solve that? In fact, like in choreograph, as what I said just now, you have more than one way to work on this timeline. So now I would like to introduce you another tools which will make your life easier to set the joint angle, which is what we call the animation mode. Okay, so animation mode, you can turn it on after you connect to your robot. Okay, so because and this animation mode is not available without the robot, because this animation mode is actually to allow you to actually record the movement by moving the parts on Pepper body directly. So which means it is very similar if, let's say, you have some experience learning some, for example, like you attend some dancing class, yoga class, or some like self-defense classes. Okay, so during the class, when the instructor try to tell you certain posture or certain motion, and the easiest way to actually correct your posture or your motion is like the instructor sometimes it will like straight away leave your hand or move your head or try to adjust some part of your body, push it or pull certain part so that it will achieve the posture that is the desired posture that suit for the particular case. So for this way, this is what we call the teaching mode, but in this case, we call it the animation mode. Okay, so we can turn on the animation mode to allow human user, which is us, directly teach Pepper by moving the body parts. Okay, so once you move the body parts to the posture that you want, then the same thing you can do like F8 to record down that into the particular keyframe. And that is how you record the body posture at that particular keyframe. But now everything will become easier because like you no longer need to specify all the angle or the joint one by one, but you can straight away, for example, like if you want to lift up the hand, so if instead of define or you need to change the angle over here, I mean like for the shoulder, for the elbow, and for the wrist and so on, you can straight away do like this, and then you can save. So that is how this might save a lot of your time, and also you might get a better posture because like you can see directly on the real robot how it looks like at the particular keyframe. Okay, so this is the animation mode. So in order to do that, so what you need to do, you need to first turn on the animation mode when you work on the timeline. So now you rewind back what we have done just now. You rewind back to the steps that you already like put in the timeline box, and then you turn it on. Okay, so you have a clear timeline for you to work with. But you can also continue from the previous example, which is like the example you download from our GitHub is actually a continuity of the demo that you see just now. Okay, so to turn on the animation mode, you can either click on this icon or you can turn on from here. And for this one is under this robot application, but usually, yeah, this button is always there. But this button will only be available for you to turn it on after you have connected to the real robot, okay? Which is, in my case, when I take this snapshot, this choreograph is not connected to the real robot. That's why it is not enabled. Okay, so if let's say your choreograph is connected to a real robot, you will see it is actually in green. Okay, and by pressing on this button, you turn on the animation mode, which is it will turn to red. So this is how you turn on the animation mode. And once you turn on the animation mode, you can notice that the LED at the eyes of Pepper actually turn from white LED to orange color. Okay, so you can see like if let's say you can see the LED turn to this orange color, it is into the animation mode. Okay, so how Pepper behave in animation mode, this is something that I need to explain before you start to try on, because this step is very important to prevent you from hurting Pepper. Okay, right. So in this teaching mode or animation mode, you can change the hand joint and head joint and so on. And in this particular example, we show you how to change the hand and also the arm and also the head. Okay, so how to do that. But you need to follow certain steps or sequence. Okay, so over here is we need to touch certain sensor in order to release the joint. Release the joint means once you turn Pepper into animation mode, or if you just power up Pepper, as long as the Pepper is in like on, power on condition, all the joints are actually powered. So which means like all the motors inside there are actually powered, which the motors is powered for Pepper to hold the particular posture or to hold the particular joint in place. Okay, so which means at that particular time when the motor is actually like have some output to hold a particular posture, if you try to change the angle of the joint, you might hurt the joint or you might like break the motors and so on. Okay, so this is not advisable for you to actually forcefully move the joint of the robots if you didn't follow the steps. Okay, so the correct way to work on this animation mode is you need to know how to release the joint. Okay, release the lock state. So how to release is like, if let's say you want to like move the arm, there is a sensor, okay, or there should be a few. There are a few sensors located at the back of the palm. Okay, back of the hand, this somewhere here, right, somewhere here. So if you want to work on the left arm, you have to hold on the back part of the palm of the left hand. Okay, and if you want to work on the right arm, you have to hold on the back of the palm, the right palm. Okay, as you can see in the photo. Okay, so once you hold on, which is you touches the sensor, you can see the indication, which is the eye, the LED of the eyes will turn from orange to green. Okay, just like this. So as you can see, like in the picture, okay, for step number 3, when the user hold on the back of the, this is the right arm, okay, right hand, you can see like the right eye actually turn to green, while the left eye still orange. So which means the motor on the right hand side, on the left hand side is still on the lock state, but the joint along the right arm is actually they are all like release. Release means like they are free. Okay, so free means you can actually like reshape or move the arm into the posture that you want. Okay, so that is how you change the posture of the particular parts of Pepper in order for you to achieve the posture that you want, so that you can record down and become the body motion. Okay, so that is how you work on the arms. Okay, then if let's say you want to change the angle, or sorry, not to say angle, you want to change the view of the head, or you want to move the head around or turn around. Okay, the sensor located at the top of the head, but for the head you no need to hold it and move. Okay, you just need to tap once. You just need to tap lightly once, which is you touches the sensor, then it will be activated. And once it is activated, the color change will look like this. So you can see like the top part of the arm, the eyes, the LED change from orange to green. So once you have the green color on the top part, which means the head, the neck part, the degree of freedom located at this the neck of Pepper become loosened. So you can actually like move the head to the angle that you want, and then you can record down. So that is how you change for the hand and also for the head. But just now when you change the head, the hand, actually the body will also move accordingly. Right. Then once you finish all this thing and you want to exit the animation mode, you just need to long press on the head. So the same location, you just long press, which is like you put your hand on top of the head for a longer time, then you can see like it start to exit from the animation mode, and the LED at the eyes turn from whether it's green or orange to white, which is the normal color. Okay, so once it turned back to white color, which means Pepper already back to the animation mode. Sorry, out from the animation mode. Okay, right. So that is how you can actually like move the hand and also head directly on the real robot, and you can record down the keyframe that you want, so that you can have a different posture at the particular time, right? On the timeline. So this for example, like in this example, you can see like at the time of, I can't really see the figure there. I think it's somewhere 90. So you try to achieve some posture like this. So you move the right hand and also you turn the head to see like Pepper is looking at the hand. Then the next one, you try to position another hand, which is the left hand, and also make the head looking at the left palm. Okay. Then finally, at the end, you want Pepper to back to the standing straight position. So yeah, you can record down when you move the parts into the normal position. Okay, so this is how you achieve this example, and then you will get something like this. Okay, so this demonstration actually show the one before and also the one after using the animation mode. So you can see like, I think got like 6 keyframe over here. You can see like 6 keyframe. Okay. So we say something. Yeah, then it move 2, 3, 4, 5. And 6 actually. Okay, so this is what you can achieve with the example that I explained just now. And if you want to see in real life like how actually you can you can release by pressing the sensor and also move and also record. So I will pass this demonstration to Austin.
Okay, thank you, Jeffrey. So we're gonna introduce it's kind of teaching mode, or it's we also call it animation mode, and we're gonna open my camera to real operation on our real robot, and it's kind of two ways we need to cooperate with trying to make this animation mode. I need a colleague or another one to make this happen, like in the real project. Also we need more people for this function. That means one for the adjust the Pepper's position, another one to just to keep recording those numbers. Okay, here with me is my colleague Edwards, and I'm gonna try to make this happen. Okay, and I'm gonna go close my camera, share my screen. We should do in the graph. We should find the timeline first. Timeline, okay. And it's empty, right? Like this description, like this a single motion layer with no motion position, and it's empty. And I will double click on it. We enter into this panel. We can do the motions here. How about we try to make the program, make the animation like we did it with Jeffrey, and we're gonna make the program like that. And first of all, we should record a position like that. Okay. At the beginning of the ruler, we need to make the Pepper standing right, and then we're gonna move to the 60 frame, or even more close, like 40 is a number is okay, but it's just make the like a time span. That means we leave the time to make paper move from one parts to another parts. Okay, like this, we're gonna divide it to 40 between 40 frame rate. Okay, as the beginning, I'm gonna record the numbers, and then the 40 and 80 and 100, and we're gonna try on this one. Okay. I'm gonna connect my real robots. Okay, this is the beginning. This part. Okay, I'm gonna record the first number, but how we can do it? I need to my colleague to give me help. My call Edwards, you got some? Yeah, I'm gonna do the programming. So I'm gonna stop my screen sharing and open my camera. And I'm gonna introduce how to do the teach mode. Okay, Edwards should help me to click the F8 to record the number. Okay, when I said it's okay, that means you can click on those number. Okay, 8. Okay, this one. F8. Yeah, just okay. F8. Oh no, stop here. This one. Okay. And we should go into the animation mode first. Let me see what happened in real paper. When I click the animation mode, the paper, we can see here the eye is gonna change to different colors. It's gonna orange. That means they are entering into the animation mode. So it's all the motors gonna fix, and we can use the sensor to adjust the position. So at the first position, like I said before, from the 0 frame rate, we can make the paper like standing right in here. So we can click. I'm gonna try to click the F8. Yeah. Okay. After we finish the click Fn key, and we're gonna see the green in the graph. Gonna record this number, and next one we're gonna choose to 40, right? Okay. At this part, I'm gonna try to make Pepper's hands lit, and how we can do it? We're gonna let it down a little bit. And we can see the hands on the back of the hand, Pepper's hand. We're gonna we have a sensor around here. When we're trying to touch the sensor, but don't leave the hand, we can see the eye, the color, the green one under the orange. They're trying to say we can adjust the under parts of Pepper. So at this time, I can try to move Pepper's hands like that. Okay. When we stop here, we're gonna record this number. Just click press the F8. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna try to record another parts. Okay. We're gonna stop, and I'm gonna stop my position. Next one. I'm gonna click down the 80. I'm gonna try to make Pepper recover back. So we're gonna press the Fn. Okay, it's that means we're gonna do the Pepper lifting and lift back. And I'm gonna try to another ruler is gonna 120. Okay, I'm gonna try to make another hands lifting. Touch the hands, make this eye just okay. I'm gonna try to move the hands up, and then I'm gonna press the F8. Okay, then we'll finish this one. I'm gonna put it back. Just leave it the hand. Then the hand's gonna put it back. Okay. Next, I'm gonna 160, right? 160. Okay. All right. We're gonna record this standard right. Okay, just press the F8. Okay, and then 220. Okay, I'm gonna move the pepper's head. But how we can recording the number of some pepper's head? They have the sensor around the pepper's head. We're gonna touch on it. Just tap. Don't give the long touch like the hand. Gotta tap on it. We can see the green colors upper on the eyes. That means we can adjust the pepper's head. We move like that. I'm gonna press F8. Okay, record this position. Okay, next. We change another number, and also I'm gonna put it back like this position. Okay, press F8. Okay, when all done, we just record this kind of one animation for pepper. So we're gonna see what happened in that. Thank you, Edward. So I'm gonna stop the animation mode, and I'm gonna try to back my screen. Back my screen. Here, we can see here we just recorded some numbers. Well, this kind of standing in right, and lifting this part is lifting the right hand, right, and trying to make it back, and left hand, and I try to make it back, and head in motion. Yeah, we can try to move a little bit. Okay, cut or selection. Yeah, selection. Okay, we should do cut and try to make copy here. Paste. Oh, I think this I can just say it because my choreograph have some problem with that, because there's something wrong with my choreograph. And at the end of this frame, we can see here, this is try to make the head to turn another direction. Okay, when out of the animation done, we try to run it out to see what happened in pepper. But first of all, we should click on this play button. We try to see what happened in the virtual one. Okay, click on it. Try to make lift back, and try lift and head turn. Yeah, turn back. Okay, that's all of that. So then we're gonna see the real robots. What happened in the real robots? I'm gonna stop. Open my camera to see what happened in real one. I'm gonna run again. Okay, I should connect it first. Connect my real robot. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna run it. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, we didn't connect the line here. We tried to make it okay, program. And the right hands, left hands, and turn the head and turn back. Okay, that's the program. It's kind of easy, but so we need more people to give help to make this program running. And one of that is just recording number, and otherwise try to adjust the position as you want. Okay, I'm gonna stop my timeline. It's kind of the same one with the one of Jeffrey said. Stop my camera. Okay, that's all of that. The animation mode or teaching mode. It's kind of easy than the previous one. Okay, I'm going to turn back to Jeffrey. I'm going to continue the course.
Okay, thanks, Austin. All right, so let me switch back to my screen. Okay, so I hope now it's back to my screen. So as you can see, just now we show you two ways, basically on the same timeline. So how you want to like adjust the body parts in order to save certain posture for the particular keyframe at the timeline, and then you repeat this process throughout the whole, if let's say you are doing like a dancing move or so on, so maybe you need to have quite a lot of work to actually come out with all the posture at a particular keyframe. Then after that, maybe you can also like put the song in, and then you try to adjust this keyframe to a particular timing in your song so that you can synchronize between the music and also the movement of Pepper. But although it might sound very tedious, but with Pepper, this timeline tool, all these things become possible. And also, it is actually, based on my experience, it's much easier to program in this way compared to if you want to write the code for this. You try to imagine if you want to write a code for this, I cannot imagine, okay? Right, so these tools in choreograph actually like make arrangement of the body motion become quite feasible, okay, as I can say, for Pepper to actually let you design, for example, a dance move and so on. Okay, so maybe this week you can try to do some exercise on the body part. Then next week we can combine with the movement of the mobile platform. Then you can have the full dancing performance by Pepper. Okay, but before we stop here, we actually have another how to say convenient tools that I would like to introduce to you regarding this body motion programming. So for the second part, we will talk about this preset animation. So this is a much more convenient tools, especially when you want to add some small gesture. Okay, so maybe it's not a full dance performance, but if you want to do some gesture, for example, if you want to make Pepper to have some gesture feedback or gesture when you want to couple with the dialogue, okay, because this is quite important, because like if you for human, when we talk to each other, not just by using voice, but we also have body gesture, right? And then this body gesture actually enhance a lot of our expression. So if let's say you can nicely pair the correct gesture with the correct conversation, you can make the whole expression very lively, and I think that is very important, especially when you want to develop a very lively service robot, right? So yeah, so that makes Pepper stand out if you want to like develop this kind of application. Okay, right. So how to what are those preset animation and what you can do? Right, sorry, it's preset, it's not present. Okay, right, so preset animation, if you open up the first category in the box library, you can find like under the animation, you have a few. Okay, creation maybe is for creation, but under the dialogue animation, the modes and entertainment, there are actually many this kind of preset animation box that you can use to design the gesture of Pepper. Okay, so now let us look at it. What are those things inside there and what you can do with them, right? So these are all the boxes that we are going to use. So if you, for example, you click open up the first one, which is the dialogue animation. So inside there, you can see like there are many different kind of category. Okay, so if let's say you click open up this space and time, you can see two big category down there, which is one belongs to the Now robot and another one belongs to the Pepper robot. So you can see this preset animation actually got certain boxes are designed for the Now robot, which is another version of robot by SoftBank Robotics. So you want to, for this particular case, which is when we work on Pepper, you want to select those boxes that design under the Pepper robot. Okay, so if you open up the Pepper robot folder, you can see a lot down there. But it is very time consuming if you want to like open up, like drag one to the working area and try to load on Pepper and see how it looks like, and then only you decide, because like the list is very long. So if you want to look one by one, it might take a lot of time. So to try to help you to select the one that you want, we actually have a preview tool. Okay, so this preview tool look like this. I think like this part, under the inspection, I think this one Austin already introduced before, but over here, particularly in this case, we use it. We can use it to preview our preset animation. Okay, so just in case like your inspector is not there, you can enable your inspector from the view tab. Okay, so once you bring up the inspector windows, you scroll down, because up there are actually the description. So if you scroll down there, got a preview. So over here, you can have something very similar like a virtual robot, but this is just an animation. Okay, so this is really is just an animation, which is it animate the preview of whatever box that you select here. Okay, so if you can select any of this, and then you can see the preview here, and this is very handy for you to try to find the particular preset animation that you want, because like you might not able to remember all this, and you also don't have the time to actually like look through from start to the end. So the easiest way is you try to type certain keyword, or you can, based on the category, later on you can see like not just for the dialogue but also for the mood and entertainment as well. Then you can find certain keyword that match with the movement that you want. Then down there you can do the preview like this. So this will help you a lot to find the preset animation that you want, that maybe will enhance the behavior that you design in Pepper. For example, like the speech or certain reaction. For example, like when you want to design Pepper to do some interaction with gesture with your user, then this is something that you can look into. Okay, so to use it is very simple. So what you need to do is you just need to drag the box to the working area, and then you just connect them. And over here, we try to use a few, like one is the happy, which is, we can imagine this is related to the emotion, the mood. And then we have elephant. So elephant, I think, is something belongs to the entertainment. So it is actually try to mimic, okay, you know, the action by an elephant. Then you have the disco. I think this disco, we already used it before in our class previously. And then fear. Okay, fear is a bit interesting, because like not just for the body motion, it's also come with the IED, the eye, how to say, not the facial expression, but the lights of the LED actually change to give you the facial expression of fear. Okay, so that is the beauty or the design of Pepper Robot, to actually try to express human-like expression. Okay, so this one you can have a look later on, and I think like Austin will introduce you these boxes, including those not just the body motion inside the boxes, but also other things inside the boxes. For example, like change of the color of the LED and so on, which is, you can look at it in detail after this during the demonstration. So once you put them on the working area, So after this, it's just you just connect them. Okay, so this is very similar like the normal instruction box. So you can also connect this with other type of boxes. For example, like for your say boxes or for your visual boxes and so on. Okay, so this one, it works like the normal instruction box. Okay, so the way is like you drag on this and then you try to connect them. And over here, our example, we just try to put this into sequence. So the pepper will show you happy, the body motion of happy, or the how to say, the expression of happy. Then after that, the action of an elephant, mimic an elephant, and then the disco dance, disco move, and then finally fear, which is how it looks like. And this will be very, how to say, human-like if you use this fear, for example, for certain respond on certain news. For example, like you have a scary news, okay, then you put this fear gesture. It will actually make Pepper very natural in responding to human conversation. Okay, so you will see the demo after this. I think like, yeah, I already come to the last slide for this part. So let me show you how it looks like. So you can see this is happy. This is the elephant. Okay, you can see the elephant trunk. Then you have this, okay, this is the disco dance, right? So you have for right hand, then after that left hand, right. Then lastly, you have the scared motion or fear motion. And you can, yeah, notice that the LED color change. Yeah, and that's it. Okay, so this is for the video to show you the overview. Now let's move to Austin to show you how all these things in operation.
Okay. Right. So I'm gonna share my screen first. Okay, I think this is easiest part for us to connect to make this program running, because it's very easy. I'm gonna try to open this program. It's a present animation tutorial, and I'm gonna open it. It's gonna I just make this clear. This all the boxes just come from the standard box library, and when search on it, this one is happy, and we're gonna see to happy here, but this is for a different robot. And the first one is for now. We have now robot is like a small one, and also this one is for Pepper. For if you got Pepper, you want to try run this happy, just use this one. And elephant, we're gonna try to know elephant. Yeah, they have the elephant for Pepper. And the disco, it's yeah, they have the disco for now and the Pepper. Another one is fear. So we just show the four of the box, but they have another ones like lots of animation, present animation we can use in future. Like when trying to search in the animation, we can see here. But this actually is obvious for now. But another for Pepper, they have like the both arms bump in front. So what does it look like when you try to see it in the spectrum? You can see here, this is the result of the present animation for the both arms bumping in front. And how about both arms bumping in right? Yeah, you can see the difference between them. Okay, so you know they have lots of the animation library you can use, but sometimes it's not fit for you. You can try to make your own by using the timeline. So from here we know the four. It's also for different type of timeline, but it's got to change the name, right? When we try to search the timeline, they have the same input and same outputs. Even the icon is the same. That means those four is a timeline, but we're gonna change the name. But how we change the name? We can try to add the box to make like crazy. Yeah. So this box is gonna be changed to crazy. This is empty, but it's empty. We can try to edit the motion, what kind of motion to make pepper crazy, right? So that means, okay, I'm gonna try to move this out. This is extra section, and you will know those boxes all are the timeline. We're gonna try with different inside. When I double click on the happy, we also see here it's a motion layer. You can see just recording different number here, but we're gonna click one of that. You can see it's like let's like this position, and you can try another one like that. But this set of action to make this pepper move like happy. And we really care about another one is the behavior layer. Behavior layer says a face. The name is like a face LED LEDs. But from the working panel, we see here this is trying to use a box to make a laugh. But what if you can see the icon? It's a kind of LED, right? And it just make the eye or shoulders to make a different colors, make the paper lively, trying to animation for the laughing. We can double click on this box. We're trying to see the codes inside. Here we can see LED to make a different color change to try to make color lively. Okay, and there's only two layer motion layer and another behavior layer. This is kind of easy. And how about the elephant? Okay, elephant is kind of the same. It's a motion layer, but they try to make a recording different number of position. And otherwise, the behavior layer is a keyframe, but they're gonna change another box. It's a play song. It's a standard box. Play song to play music. Like you can see the results. So just to make the pepper gonna make them animation like elephant. Meanwhile, because they're gonna play some music to make the sound mimic elephant sound voice. Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna try back and just see the disco. The disco, they even don't have layer. This is the motions. And we're gonna see here. Okay, this is gonna change. We can see here the motion is like the recording numbers, but they have two behavior layers. In the behavior layers, they also have different segments, right? It's kind of different than the other ones. You can see for the LEDs, for the LED, you can see the first segments. They just try to change the color with the eye, and another section is also try to change the color of the eye. There's light, surprise eye, and another one is try to nature and neutral one, yeah. And also we can see another is behavior layer one, and it's kind of try to play sound. Yeah, this is try to play sound to mimic the mouse. The mouse. This is a fear. Try to make it lively. Okay, that's today's knowledge about how to make a pepper doing the animation as you want. Meanwhile, you know what is behavior is like. They're trying to do other things while the pepper moving. Yeah, that's important when you're trying to make a pepper move while do other things. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna try the logic is program is very easy. Just connect the box to another and finish another, and try to horizontal and direction. Try to make happy first the elephants, and a disco and a sphere. So we're gonna see we're gonna see what happened in the robot view or the real robot. We're gonna run on the real robot. I'm gonna stop sharing and open the camera. And you can see the real Pepper here. I'm gonna try the program, see what happened. Okay, we can see, yeah, this is mimic the elephant, and we can see the eyes colors are gonna change. Really, the eyes are changing. Yeah. This is disco. Fear they have the sound. Yeah, this is very little sounds from it. Yeah. And also we can see it colors change. It's got change different. This is just yellow one. Okay, that's all the program running from the happy elephants disco fear. And I'm gonna try my camera to close the Pepper to make the run again to feel what's like. Okay, I'm gonna run that again. Really focus on the color of the eye. Okay, it's done. It's out of the program's running result, and that's it. So it's pretty easy for this course. When you know how to make Pepper do the animation, it's like from the virtual robots, just the numbers, and another one is we can use the teaching mode, and finally we have other we already have other present animation we can use in Pepper. Okay, that's all. I'm gonna try back to Jeffrey. We're gonna continue for this course. Okay.
Okay, thanks, Austin. Right, so now let's switch back to my screen, and we actually have completed the class content for today, but of course it's not the end yet. So let me discuss a little bit about the contents today. Right, so today we try to design certain body motion for Pepper, and it is not just, for example, like to arrange for dancing, and which is totally just output, but it actually got a lot of usage, especially when you pair with other module that we introduced. For example, like if you pair with dialogue, okay. So as I said just now, you can actually add a lot of body language to Pepper when doing conversation, right? And certain thing is very, how to say, make Pepper very human-like. If let's say you can design very nicely pair between the body motion and also the expression. For example, like just now you see, not just the body motion, but also the color of the eyes actually change a lot, although with the same body motion. And also from the elephant and also from fear, you can see, like, maybe not very obvious, you can add some sound, and that sound really make a lot of difference to enhance the expression of Pepper in making very lively expression. Okay, so I hope, yeah, you can get this skill and try to see how you want to couple with other things. Okay, so with that, I would like to introduce our homework today. Okay, right. So let's go to our homework, which is over here. Right. So just for your information, so all the previous class videos and also slides are inside here, including the assignment. Okay, so the assignment basically is to let you exercise the part that you learned in the current class, and also it has some connection with the previous class. So let's have a look on today's assignment. Okay, so for today's assignment, okay, so this one, okay, so let me move to the assignment page. Okay, so for the assignment page, please please write a program so that when Pepper robot detects someone in front of you, okay, it will make a gesture of reaching out. Okay, so you can see like reaching out is something that you don't say out, but you just like move your body or move your upper body or move your head. For example, like if you still remember in our sound class, the speech interaction, we have a sound localization function, right? So which means Pepper can actually like turn to that person. So this is one of the way to reach out. For example, like someone like come from the left side or the right side, then Pepper can reach out and then greet the person, right? Greet the person, and the greet the person can be many ways. Okay, you can say hello, and also you can wave your hand, right? You can wave your hand. So if you want to wave your hand, in this case, you can also wave your hand and say hello. All right. So over here, you can see like in order to achieve this very human-like response, for example, like reach out and also do the body language, which is like wave the hand and also shout the person name. If let's say you add in the visual perception, which is like you try to detect the person, or you try to do the recognition, which is that person you know, then you can shout the name and so on. You can call on the name and so on. So although this example sounds very simple, but you can actually make it very rich in terms of expression. Okay, so that other requirement is like while the program is running, you make the robot always say hello to people, which means you want to make this thing in a loop. Okay, so it's not just one time off. So just now all the example, we only show you like one time after finish the movement, then the program ends. So how you want to add some more logic to make it continuous, right? And then especially if you add like those things on up there, which is like detect a person, reach out, and then wave the hand and see something. So how you want to loop all these things? So that is something that you can powder for your logic design of your program. Then lastly, you also like want to have something that you can stop the robot. So for example, like when you touches the head, then the program exit. Or you touches something like we can use other sensor, for example, the back of the hand and so on. Or you can find other event that you would like to indicate Pepper that the program should end. Okay, so you can design all these things. So as you can see, in this exercise or this assignment, it actually have a combination from many techniques that you have learned, okay, throughout these few weeks, like from the speech, from the dialogue, and then from the visual perception that you can detect or interact with the people in front. And then lastly is like the body motion. So we can add in the expression and so on. Okay, so with that, I have already we deliver all the content for today. So I'm not sure like if you have any question, but we are ready to answer. If let's say like you want to have some Q&A after this. And also we have some announcement regarding the competition. So please stay back. So let me end the class and then stop the recording. Then we will enter the Q&A or interaction session. Okay. Okay. So I would like to end the class today. So thanks to Austin and also Edward for your support from SoftBank Robotics. And also thanks everyone who joined our class today, especially those very regular, that the names that I can see like you attended this class every week. I hope that you can, this class provide some information that will help you in your Pepper development, and we would like to keep in touch with you or interact with you after this in order to see some response, because we also hope to get some information or feedback from you. Okay, so thanks a lot for attending, and for next week we will have our last class. We will discuss about, as what I said just now, the motion, okay, the robot motion of Pepper, which is the first half. And then for the second half of next week class, we will introduce you how to use the tablet in front of robot in order to do some multimedia output. So for example, like if you want to play a song, or if you want to play a video, you want to play a pictures, you want to even have some interaction. For example, like because it's a touch screen, you can actually do some interaction. For example, a lot of example application of Pepper in, for example, retail or some other places. The touch screen is very useful for the guests or whoever, the public that interact with Pepper to do some selection. For example, like you can select some category of the products that that you introduce. Then after you click on it, then a video can be played on the thing. And then, while meantime, robot also can do something, right? The body motion or the speech and so on, you can still do something else. So combined with the multimedia function, you can design a very rich, expressive service robot that will enhance your service robot application, right? Okay, so with that, I would like to say thanks to all and hope to see you again next week, same time, which is this time, and also same place, which is the same link will be used. So hope to see you next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.